Okay, we are live. Hello po, blessed Sunday to everyone joining us this evening po. Hi, and please don't forget to share po this Facebook Live event to your Facebook groups, your group chats, and your Facebook timeline. You can also comment on the comment section po yung location where you're joining or watching us from. Ang ganda po ng topic natin tonight. Kinikilig ako at super excited. And before, maaga tayo ngayon actually. Bumawi kahapon kasi parang 6 minutes late kahapon yung FB Live. I'm going to share first. Yan, yung prepare ko po. And yun nga pala, share din muna pala sa mga groups. Wait, share muna tayo. Share the groups. Hey. Hello po sa mga kasama natin ngayong gabi. And yun po, sa mga bago pong followers or viewers na kasali natin ngayong gabi, I am Miss Joy SP and I am on all social media platforms, namely the Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok po. And I provide online speech therapy services and assessment. And also do parent caregiver coaching and training, as well as private public school company training and speaking engagements. So hello po sa mga mag-join. So I encourage if you can comment on the comment section where you're joining or watching us from. And kung may katanungan po kayo sa guest natin today, napakaganda ng topic natin, daily sensory diet to build in your practice habits, good practice habits. Yan. And share nyo rin po sa ating um, sa inyong mga Facebook groups, Facebook group chats, and timeline. Also, I would like to share po no that this sobrang milestone milestone and great opportunity that I was given. I was invited po at the Philippine Consulate General in Dubai in collaboration with AFJ Awesome Family Journey to share my advocacy and speak about speech therapy services. So yun po yung naging team nila for the 19th World Autism Awareness Day, which is building bridges of inclusion. So nandun po yan sa page. I posted that when they asked me to share and give tips, practical tips po about speech therapy services. Sobrang thankful ko dyan. And ayan po, medyo recent, kung nakita niyo po sa newsfeed niyo po yan, yung about documentary of one of the TV channels sa atin na nag-promote sana or parang the aim was to spread autism awareness. Yun nga lang, nagkaroon ng problema dahil kumbaga nagkaroon ng backlash because yung naging caption and label nila dun sa second interview nila ay nakalagay may sakit na autism. So sad po yung event and yung situation na yun kasi even if yun sana yung aim, no, it's to make people understand and inform about the real situation and condition of autism, may ganong underlying pa rin na mga false beliefs and yun nga, misunderstanding about about autism itself. So we hope for more people to understand that autism is not a sickness or illness or hindi siya sakit. And recent post ko yan for this day. Lalo na remaining days na lang for April ay ilang araw na lang because to 26 na tayo hanggang 30 lang, di ba? Sana patuloy natin na magawa yung pagbabahagi ng tamang impormasyon. Okay, and kahapon, ito po yun, yung first back-to-back event ko na Facebook Live ay ngayong buwan ng April. So excited. And yung kahapon nga po, ang ganda po ng naging kwentuhan namin ng Vice President of the Philippine Association of Speech Language Pathologists, si Miss Eileen Matalog, because she was the first ever guest ko po that provided insight and shared their expertise about adult speech therapy services. So ang ganda ng kwentuhan. At mababalikan nyo na po siya ng libre sa YouTube channel po ng Miss Joy SP. So kung na-miss niyo po yan and you want to um, learn more about adult speech therapy services, yun, balikan niyo po yan. Nakapost na rin po yung link for that one. Nasa page na po. Yan. Tapos, ang ganda ng mga bagong terms na napag-usapan kagabi, kagaya po ng palliative care, which is hindi masyadong familiar sa Filipino culture kung ano ba yung ibig sabihin nun. Pero, very timely po siya. Lalo na kung nababalitaan niyo po yung sa showbiz world yung issue about Nora Honor's children, sila Ian De Leon, sila Matet and all that. So medyo parang in line siya dun sa having an understanding of palliative care and end of life emergency medical directives, yung mga ganong bagay na mahalagang pinag-uusapan kasi sa kultura natin taboo topic pa rin siya. Kumbaga, iniiwasan or hindi openly discuss among families. Pero napakahalaga ka po kasi nung understanding palliative care. Lalo na sa mga aged and sa mga geria population natin. And until April 30th pa rin po yung available discounted rates. Medyo selected lang po yung available styles natin. But you can start your online speech therapy po and have the discounted rate. So you can send us a message for that. And eto naman po, as we are about to end April and open the month of May, eto yung gusto kong i-share and announce yung mga next set of Facebook Live webinars and events natin. So starting off on May 9 with Miss Marian Briones. And then May 16, we're gonna have Awesome Nanay, Fatima, and Yuna and Yas. And on May 18 naman po, I will be having my first ever physical therapist guest to share about her expertise, her practice, and ano yung mga hindi natin madalas na lalaman or naunawaan about physical therapy. So, save the date for these events po. And of course, ayan, ang super exciting, 5 minutes pa lang yan. Magsa-start tayo kasi ang dami pong ibabahagi sa atin ni Doc Janet. So, I'm so happy at parang kagaya rin po, yun, I'd like to thank Coach Jerome kasi si Coach Jerome yung nag-bridge sa akin to be connected with Doc Janet. So, hi Coach Jerome, if you're watching, thank you po for this successful collaboration with Dr. Janet. And ang ganda po nung topic na i-discuss niya sa atin tonight. So, Doc Janet, would you like to say hi po sa ating mga viewers and followers?
Okay. Hi, magandang gabi. Kailangan isipin ko muna, no? Kasi dito umaga.
Correct, sa New Year.
Kailangan mag-shift ng brain, yung circuits ko. Okay?
Yan.
So, magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. I'm so happy that we are all here to learn and share our experiences about living with our autistic community, our autistic children. So ngayon
Yes.
po we will discuss about the sensory diet, which is very common in the market. So lahat naririnig mo siya, kailangan ko ng sensory diet, or they will come to us, like the parents, yung mga teachers, even my other fellow colleagues, like the speech therapist, the physical therapist, the reading specialist, the ABA therapist. So they come to us, occupational therapists, to consult or to have some questions or to have a collaboration on how we can implement and adjust, adapt, and provide accommodation for our neurodivergent learners, even us. Okay, so talaga wala naman talagang neurotypical development. Okay? Pero of course, we are living in a perfect world, and if you don't go with the wave, obviously makikita ka na, oh, there's something wrong, something is not right. And sometimes it can be good and it can be bad. It depends on the person who is like viewing, who is like looking, who is this person with. Okay, it can be damaging, but that's why we are all here, like this Joey, Dr. J, and other um, social media influencer who are supporting the neurodivergent community and a diverse learning.
Correct. So ito na po yung introduction natin kay Dr. Janet. So Dr. Janet is a registered occupational therapist in the Philippines and United States. She completed and graduated from Bachelor of Occupational Therapy at the University of Perpetual Health System, Delta, Las Piñas, and then completed her post-professional doctorate of occupational therapy at the University of Montana. She's been working for 23 years in occupational therapy practice and currently in the State of New York Department of Education for children with diverse developmental and unique learning preferences. She's a parent to a neurodivergent teenager, an advocate, and a coach, working in different settings from infancy to elderly with neurodevelopmental, psychosocial, emotional, physical, and mental needs. She's also a member of the International Board Credentialing and Continuing Education Standards, as well as an advanced certified autism specialist, therapeutic listening certified, pediatric attachment and trauma certificate, sensory processing integration, sequential oral sensory feeding, and DIR, certificate of infant massage instructor, and for brain and interactive metronome certificate provider. Ayan po. Let's all welcome Doc Janet!
All right. I can okay. So sensory diet. So pag narinig natin yung language na sensory diet, we visualize na para itong isang menu, food menu, okay? It's like para bang ano bang kakainin ng anak ko? Ano bang dapat na ingredients ang kailangan? Ano yung hindi ko pwedeng ilagay based dun sa preferences ng anak ko or ng other individual who I'm working with. But sensory diet is very complex. Okay, it it is the sensory diet is different from the diet of A, B, and the C. Okay? Hindi pwedeng pare-pareho mo ibibigay ang intensity at ang activities like obstacle course, like swinging, which is very common, no? Na binibigay yung mga brushing. So, I'm reviewing yung sa mga posting sa social media, and natutuwa naman ako dahil, um, the parents are, trying their best to look for resources na they can carry over at home. But kung masusuportahan pa rin natin sila when it comes to education and training, one-on-one training, and transferring kung whatever you are doing from the clinic, okay, from the clinic, from the center, from the school, that sana we can carry over it in our community and the home base. Okay, we wanted them to have the empowerment, the parents have the empowerment or other caregivers. Okay, uh, usually ang lagi kong concept or iniisip kapag I have an evaluation, upon the initial evaluation and assessment, I always look for, discharge. I want to for this, in this time frame, I want to discharge this client. I want the caregivers or the partners or the families to have that skills to bring with them. Kasi paano, Teacher Joy, pag wala tayo, no? Wala tayo sa frame, no? Kung hindi tayo, like for example, in case of emergency, hindi tayo makapunta sa center. So, ang tendency ngayon is, walang therapy session. So, walang pwedeng mag-cover. Right?
Next slide.
Next slide. Okay. So, kung mapapansin niyo dito, ito yung mga araw-araw natin ginagawa, which we are not commonly giving too much attention. Okay, it's happening. Kita natin na itong mamang 'to ay naglalakad so alam niyo kung saan where, 'di ba? Sa dagat, sa seashore. So, ah, so alam natin na nasa dagat siya because we had the experience to hear, to see that at the earlier age na itong setting na 'to is, itong environment na 'to is dagat, okay? The language and then of course the speech, okay? Integration of both, uh, skills and then, kung mapapansin niyo meron siyang, um dala-dala na kahoy, okay, yung kahoy. But look at the posture, okay, habang naglalakad siya hindi siya nahuhulog, hindi niya natatamaan yung ulo niya or hindi siya, bothered by, stepping on the sand. So, I guess itong mamang 'to, eh, nakapaa, okay? Nakapaa o nakatsinelas kung saan yung sand ay, pumupunta dun sa balat, sa skin. So, kita niyo naman, so walang, uh, defensiveness or any dysregulation na makikita. Okay, yeah. Let's go to the
Dok,
next
buti
slide.
nabanggit niyo 'to. Alam niyo po yung youngest son ko, as early as parang 1-year-old siya nung first time namin siya dala sa beach, ayaw niyang maglakad sa sand and even up to now, he's 5 years old. Medyo icky pa rin siya pagdating talaga sa sand. Parang he needs a little, more time to warm up to the feeling of sand on his so, ang ganda nung binanggit ni Doc na dito makikita mo na unbothered siya, hindi siya dysregulated kasi possible talaga na while walking on a beach like this or shore, may papasok or mararamdaman talaga yung contact ng sand sa feet natin, 'di ba?
Oo. So, makita mo yung ibang bata 'no, may meltdown kasi for them it's
Correct.
too much yung,
Mm.
binibigay na information ng sand to their skin and then the brain it goes up and the brain reacts. So, look at this video. Makikita niyo, maalikabok, okay? So, it's as in the surroundings, sabihin ng iba, "Okay, it's messy," but I think they get used to, play around this kind of environment setup. So, they're having, like, communication, the back and forth communication, they're trying to build a tower kahit hindi siya laruan, okay? So, from their exposure to this kind of environment, but I'm not saying that we have to put our children in this kind of, setting. So this is a good opportunity for them to learn and integrate all of the information that from their external environment to their internal system.
Correct. Next slide.
Okay. Okay. So kung mapapansin niyo ay it is intentional na ginawa ko siyang bright yellow. Okay? From a very neutral or calming background dun sa mga bata na naglalaro nakaupo, no? So I try to make it bright. So ano yung naramdaman niyo? What did you feel about, changing the quick shift in less than a second?
Ayan.
So
Puwede
some
niyo
of
pong
you, did they
i-comment
close their
yeah,
eyes?
oo. Correct.
So I want you to experience it as a participant and audience and si Miss Joey.
Mhm.
Okay, so
Correct.
pero we're still here. We're still sitting down and having the joint shared attention. Okay, we're not running away, we're not screaming, we're not crying. And look at her. She's trying to give a deep pressure input around her eyes. Okay, she's closing her eyes just to give herself a break. Okay.
Opo. So, possible po na iba-iba po yung reaction 'no, Doc? Like, ako pa actually nung nag-change po na quick, medyo parang ano, naka-caught agad ng attention ko compare dun sa mga iba kasi bright yellow, eh. So, parang ang taas ng energy, parang gano'n. Pero ang ganda po nung sinabi po ninyo na compared to the person shown in the video, yung reaction niya might be another person na gano'n, 'pag instant ano, 'pag mabilis yung change tapos pride agad, ganyan yung maging reaction.
Mhm. It's like for our autistic community, 'pag lumabas sila sa bahay, you've noticed na very frequent yung kanilang blinking, like resting break. So we will discuss it papaano natin, bibigyan ng, what is a sensory diet habit, uh, So
Yeah, to
that's not
watch.
gonna be a
Yeah.
surprise.
Pero Doc, ito po yung dito po 'no, ang ganda po kasi ito pong video na 'to shows possible signs na baka nakikita niyo rin po sa neurodivergent learner niyo, 'di ba, na you might just be ignoring yung nagkukusot ng mata, naghahawak ng mata, pumipikit or yun nga excessive blinking 'no, Doc. These are actually signs na, nagpapakita na na-o-overwhelm po sila 'no, possibly.
Which can impact our daily occupation. Okay, like this. So sa utero pa lang, inside the womb, meron na nangyayari na processing of, different senses. Okay, the first sensory system that is, being developed inside the womb is the touch, is the tactile. Okay, and then it's followed by our auditory. Okay, sa loob pa lang. So, nagkakaroon ng connection yung fetus, yung baby sa loob ng tiyan, ng ina, even the emotion, the heartbeat, the breathing, even yung paglalakad ng nanay. Okay, may rhythm yan, yung pagsasalita ng nanay, may rhythm din yan, which is, it's, can transfer to or transfer to the baby.
Mhm.
Okay? And
Yes.
then the other occupation, okay, babyhood. And then now, makita natin yung nanay with the two children. Okay? So this is stages of life. Okay, makikita natin, look at the environment. Look how what is the reaction and the response of the mother in order to adjust and adapt to survive, and how this, and the two children is still in a safe, I will say, is they're still in a safe zone. They're with their mother, there's a connection. And then after that, in time, they have to go to school. Okay? So early intervention, I'm also early intervention provider. Hindi pa masyadong evident yung mga challenges nila, mga difficulties nila. Okay? So after 3 years old, then we move to school setting. And this is school setting, so yung bata meron ng dala-dala na IEP, uh, early intervention, we call it IFSP. And then we move to IEP. Okay? So school age. So makikita mo na yung mga mga differences in terms of learning, reaction, response, adaptation, which affects their daily occupation. I am a school-based OT, uh, um, and I do push in a lot of push in, and then if it is not possible, kailangan ng bata ng break, and it's also in accordance to the mandate of the IEP, I have to take out the kid in the therapy room. But I'm not just sticking myself or sticking the kid to be in a therapy room. So I go and we go to the gym, we go to the cafeteria, which is very challenging. A lot of sensory input coming in, to process. And we go for a field trip, community integration. We go to the playground. Okay? And I also work with the other providers. And then here, sa playground, makikita mo yung mga bata, sino yung mga nakaupo lang, sino yung nasa corner, sino yung nasa ilalim nung slide, sino yung magko-cover ng ears. Okay? Sino yung clumsy? Okay? Sino yung laging nadadapa o laging, nakatakip yung mata o yung kamay habang naglalakad o yung iyak ng iyak. Or there's some na parang frozen lang. So walang reaction. And then after that, if it is not addressed, then we can carry it in the adulthood where we go to our working space. Okay? So dito, sa States, meron siyang tinatawag na accommodation. Okay? Kung meron kang profile, so you have a profile, you have a folder carrying with you from, let's say, the early intervention, going to the school, and then during your middle school, your high school, and then young adulthood. So they provide an environment, or depending sa iyong interest, you can work in a space where there's only you. Okay? There's only space like 2 or 3. So, depende rin yan, no? Sa tinatawag namin na universal design program, which I believe should not only be implemented during young adulthood or the phase of workhood. It must be implemented from, early intervention. Okay, early intervention going to the, school age, and integration with the community. And then, of course, kung we have a reflection, look around you. What are our occupation? There are engineers, construction workers, there are surgeon. It also comes out from your sensory system history, your sensory system profile, unique profile. Like even now in elderlyhood, we also uh, provide and support them with, sensory system or um, sensory diet, quote unquote, habit. Okay, habit and a part of your uh, daily occupation activity.
Mhm.
Ang
Ay,
dami, no?
Doc, yes po. Igigreet ko lang, shoutout ko lang si Teacher Anna. She's watching and she said hello po. And so as Mami Lee, hi Mami Lee, at yung mga ibang mga nakaka-join pa lang po. We're thankful that you are part of this discussion and we hope na marami po kayong mapulot along the way po. Ayan.
Okay. So ito yung mga common terminologies, common language na nagkakaroon ng, confusion. Okay? So sensory integration, it's about how all those 8 sensory systems together with the other systems. So itong 8 sensory systems na to hindi lang siya yung nag-iisa, okay? Mayroon pang other system. We have the central nervous system, we have the autonomic system, which is, I don't want to overwhelm you. Maybe next time we can have a part 2 or part 3, who knows, okay? And
Yeah.
me and Miss Jo will gonna try to simplify it for our audience to, better understand and have the sense of ownership, because it is internally inside of you. You can branch it out. You can expand your ideas, your thinking process, your problem solving capacities. Okay, so 8 sensory systems. So, alam ko narinig niyo na, na-Google niyo na 'yan. Yung mga sensory system also. I'm expecting everyone in this platform na, okay, I know that, I heard that, pero ano siya? Okay? So, how all those 8 sensory systems work together, okay? Like dynamically, like holistically, they work together. That one is affecting the other system, and the other one is affected by 2 other systems or 3 other systems. But you are in the mode of survival. You are in the mode of adaptation. Uh, Sensory processing is how how do you, or how the A, the B, and the C interprets all these 8 systems, and how this person respond to those systems. Okay? So ang common naririnig natin yung mga sensory under responsive, sensory over responsive, those who are very, seeker, pero meron pang iba. Akala natin na, yun lang pala, it undergoes only with the three subtypes, pero meron pa palang um, yung dyspraxia. Okay, that's another topic. Meron pa palang sensory motor base. Okay, sensory motor base, which is hindi masyadong napapag-usapan, pero very important na marinig natin. Okay, sensory
Yes.
diet. So we plan, not only myself, that's the OT, but the neurodivergent individual or the unindividual who is not neurodivergent, and the parents, the caregivers, the teachers, the other related service providers, like like the speech, like the PT, like the reading specialist, the ABA, the recreation therapist, even the nurses. Okay, so mga nursing facilities, even the doctors too. Okay, when they're giving us the feedback, this is what is the report of the patient, and even magugulat na lang kami, meron palang history ni ganito. Meron palang nagkaroon pala ng spinal cord injury or traumatic brain injury like the stroke or dementia. Okay? Parkinson's disease, this is combination. So we set up like a program, pero itong program na 'to ay kailangan modifiable. Okay? Kailangan supported, kailangan flexible. Hindi lang siya isa. Hindi lang siya in a frame. You're giving this person a chance to be like this, to have this, to access like this. But it depends on the day. It depends on that moment. How you adjust yourself as a person supporting this individual, and how you modify the environment. Okay, you have to adjust the environment and adjust yourself. Ah, hindi lang siya yung dala-dala mo na folder na may menu ka, o kailangan natin mag-jump in the trampoline. Sometimes, we jump in the trampoline, eh, yung pala, it cause more harm. Okay? It cause more, even the swinging. Fast swinging, okay, I have my daughter, excuse me.
No problem po. By the way, ay shoutout ko lang si Sir Bren. Hi, Sir Bren, the reading. All Edutherapy is also joining us. Hi, Sir Bren. Thank you for your time. Tapos, nakakatuwa lang habang nag-break ng short break si Doc Janet. Kung isipin po natin, we usually see behavioral concerns. We have like our kids, our neurodivergent learners, may issue, may mapapansin ka na challenging behavior. Pero itong dinidiscuss na basic po na ito ni Dr. Janet, ito po yung understanding why, parang ito yung point A. Kasi nakikita lang natin yung C yung challenging behavior, yung ganito yung ginagawa niya. Pero understanding the sensory integration, the 8 systems, how sensory processing works, and the sensory diet, ito yung mas tutulong sa atin na magkaroon ng mas buo, mas holistic na pag-unawa at pagkaintindi dun sa nagaganap sa bawat neurodivergent learner natin pag may challenging behavior tayong nakikita sa kanila. Di ba, Doc?
Yes, so yun nga, yung mga nababasa ko, so na-browse ko sa mga, especially in the Facebook, right? This is very,
Opo.
a hit source of like information. Okay, so ang focus is more of the behavior, like stuttering, like moving around, aggression, pinapaupo pa rin sa silya,
Eating.
tinuturuan pa rin ng mga paper base. It's like a paper base task worksheets. But how do you modify it? It's also part of your sensory diet. So how do you adjust? Okay? Binibilangan mo ba siya ng 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? Ito bang may sensory need na ito ay may konsepto, may connection sa first and then? Okay? So we're trying to like impose it, like push it to them, but they're not ready yet. They're not there yet. Okay? And then you're not giving them an opportunity na what can I do? How do I understand you? Even if you are nonverbal, if you have other comorbidities, like for example, blindness, okay, that's one factor too. If you have cerebral palsy, if you have Down syndrome, so pag nakita natin na, okay, sensory diet, kailangan ko to. So you just feed the person. Okay? So mahirap talaga. So that's why you have to consult your providers. So itong baby na to, very calm, merong lights around, naririnig niya yung heartbeat ng mommy, yung speech ng mommy. But, nagsisimula ito sa loob ng, sa womb. Okay? If there is like a traumatic experience for the mother, okay, it can transmit to the fetus, it can transmit into the baby. And that possibility that it can manifest kapag yun nga napanganak na yung bata. So some kids are very cranky, sa babies ang hirap i-calm down nila because meron pala mga history. Sometimes, na-encounter ko yung alcohol fetal syndrome. Okay? Alcohol or drug abuse, or substance abuse, yung parents. So that's why ang hirap, very challenging talaga sa mga bata. So you cannot really fully understand what is going on in the nervous system, in the brain. And what is the history of that child. So you have to dig in, you have to dig. Okay, so yan, andiyan na si baby. So, yung scent ng nanay, yung hair ng nanay, yung skin, yan, yung skin, and then yung rhythmicity ng breathing ng nanay, relax ba yung mami ko while I'm eating, I'm feeding. So, meron bang parang, it's very like hormonal. Okay, nakukuha, naka-capture din nila yan.
Correct.
Okay, next. Okay. So crawling, yan, crawling, you say like the floor time. So very important din yan. So meron pala tayong mga 7, 8 years old, 9 years old, they never crawl.
Nag-crawl.
Okay, they never crawl on all fours. They never, the shifting, the exchanges of information from the left brain to the right brain. They never fall down. Okay, they never had that experience. So ako, kahit na 10-year-old na yung bata, 9-year-old, laki, no? Pag nilagay ka sa vestibular, swing, it's like, a vestibular swing is like, it looks shaped like a hot dog, like a sausage, okay? I let them fall down on the mat. They never had experience, kaya yung information pala, with the brain, from the bones, from the skin, from the eyes, from the hair, from the ears, ay nagkaroon ng problem. Kasi itong batang ito pala ay nasa crib lang. Okay? Especially during the pandemic. Nakikita natin mababa ang muscle tension. Yung tension sa mga nakikita natin very clumsy, sloppy, lagi nakabuka yung bibig, walang mouth closure. Nagdo-drooling, okay? Your shoulders, nakabagsak ang shoulders. Okay. This is, I remember my childhood. We have a farm in the Philippines, and I will go in the farm and then touch everything. Kahit bisa sabihin sa akin, huwag mong hawakan, makati yan. So, I can wash my hands after. Then, meron namang gamot. Meron namang cream. Which is, my adaptive response. Okay.
Ang galing no, Doc. Pero kasi if you think about it, marami talaga sa younger kids, kung mapapansin niyo, yung gusto talaga nilang humahawak sa pader habang naglalakad. And yung automatic response ng mga adults and parents ay pagsabihan sila or bawalan sila kasi dumi yung kamay or parang it's not proper to do. Pero thinking through the lens of, of sensory integration and exploration, they're actually feeling through their hands, di ba? They're learning and discovering and exploring. Pero as adults, yung automatic responses, ano ka ba, bakit mo ginawa yan? Madumi yung kamay mo, ganyan. 'Di ba? Ganun po yung nagiging reaction natin na titignan natin, it takes away the opportunity for the child to explore through touching or through sensation po, 'di ba? Tactile sensation daw.
Yeah, and sometimes the parents, no? Yung mga bata is very cautious sa kung ano nahawakan nila, kung ano yung nakikita nila. Yung pala, they get it from the parents. Because the parents are like that. So pag binigyan ka ng checklist, I give you extra. Okay, we have an adult sensory checklist that we use to so makikita mo yung reflection, yung connection. Okay, so it came from the dad, it came from you, it came from the aunt, it came from the uncle, from the aunt, from the uncle, so from the cousin who is also like a neurodivergent. Not only neurodivergent, kahit na hindi sila, like formally diagnosed, or they can function with the environment, so meron pa rin. Katulad nito. So, if we don't address this, okay, there's, we call it like the fall moment. The fall moment. And it's okay to take a break, but for certain period of time. But you are not the one as a provider or as a parent who will tell your child, okay, this is enough, this is fine. But you're trying to exert your effort or your skills based on your experience as a mom or dad or provider or the teachers on how you bring or help support this kid all together, or how you bring. That's why we also do coaching for the adults. Okay, kahit nagtatrabaho na sila, they living in their apartment, they go to work every day. Like even sometimes my coworkers or other coworkers whom I'm interacting with every day, na kailangan din pala ng support for them to be able to teach in the classroom. Kasi meron din pala siyang preferences. Meron siyang ayaw dun sa scenario ng teaching, okay, yung reaction and response ng mga bata makes the teacher very having that, hyper or over responsive reaction. Okay, which can, but she can bounce to other children, which she can bounce to other classroom staff, like even the admin. Okay. So, nakita mo na, pagkita mo pa lang, okay, may needs to. So, I have to adjust myself. Okay, let me see what's happening.
All right.
So, ito is very common, no? So, I assume na itong batang to is, uh, she moves a lot in the room. Okay, and for the parent, for the caregivers, or sometimes it's the providers or the teachers, they will try to like find other ways on how to keep this child still. Okay, at this age, nakita nyo, he is mounting objects, the toys, exploring it, but and then keep on moving, but let's see how will this child respond as we support the learning process, adaptation of survival. Like what I've said, the brain is very complex. It's a lot of, it has billion wires to connect, reconnect. But it's so good that they now learn that, and we are now learning that yung development of brain doesn't stop until the age of 7, the neuroplasticity. So it still keeps on going to change, rechange, reconnect, regrow until we are here in the world, until we are surviving. Correct?
Correct
So pag
po.
sinabi nila na, hindi na siya nagsalita at 7, we never know. Okay. So here, pagkaroon ng sensory integration, so there's a sensory integration, and when we see like sensory integration, we always think of a reaction, response, and kailangan mong gawin to. You have to adapt immediately. But you really have to know the neuroscience, okay? The neuroscience of each individual that you are dealing with, that you are working with. Kung hindi, magkakaroon ng sensory dysfunction, okay? Hindi mo ma-trace out saan ba ito nanggagaling. Isang station, I always take up subway system. Okay, there's A, B, C, and there's 1, 2, 3, F, like with different colors, different numbers, different tracks. You're going to east, to the west, to the north, or south. Okay, so yung nakita natin na spinal cord, we call it the lower motor neuron. Okay, lower motor neuron. Those are our primitive reflexes. Nung pinanganak tayo, nasa loob tayo ng tiyan ng nanay natin. As we grow old, then it gets integrated. It's still there. Not until you the body or the brain experience a trauma. Okay, a trauma, physical, mental health trauma, uh, like sickness. You get sick, something happened, even just a fever. It could change the mechanics, the dynamics of your central nervous system, and the way how you process the information coming out and in of your learning system, your survival system, your sensory system. And that's, we figured out ourselves, kahit we figured out ourselves ano yung very calming sa atin, because adapt and learn more and process more to be able to survive in our daily life. Okay, like this one, so blindness. So I have clients like that. Yung iba sudden blindness, yung iba naman pinanganak na mayroong problem sa vision. So we've also provided, the sensory approach together with the cognitive approach, the language approach, uh, para maka-function siya, magawa niya yung kanyang daily occupation, what is important for me to do. Okay? That he will not just stay in the corner because I get blind, I cannot see anymore. So I walk with them in the street. They have, we use the white stick. Yung white stick yung mahaba, napapahaba mo siya eh.
Yes.
Napapahaba, parang siyang antena. So, nung una ko nakita yun dito, sabi ko, wow, ang galing.
Galing.
So, meron siyang parang ball sa dulo. So, yun yung determine kung ano yung, gaano ba kalaki yung space. And that gives like information to the brain ito, even also the hearing, the auditory. Kung ang isang system ay nagkaroon ng defect, deficit, the other system will come in. So, yung isa usually with our autistic individuals, usually the visual system. Okay, the visual system. But we have to be very careful too because the visual system also shuts down. They all shuts down because they are tired. Because kung meron kang impairment, kung meron kang difficulty to process this information, and the only way for you to feel safe and have the survival is the visual system, you always use it. But then, if you have 6 or 7 hours in the school, mapapagod ka. And the education system will still feed you visual information, and that leads to disengagement.
Mababurnout and fatigue. Doc, nandyan si Coach Jerome. Hi, Coach Jerome. Thank you for joining us. And kanina, sinoutout po kita sa umpisang part. Thank you for making this collab with Dr. Janet possible. Thank you sa support, Coach
Hi,
Jerome.
Coach
Follow niyo
Jay.
po siya. Yeah, sa Go Odigo FB. Ayan. Next slide po.
Okay. So like this one, okay? I would say that this mother is providing sensory diet, okay? Sensory accommodation, connection, and there's nothing wrong with that as long as you're doing it uh, in the environment where it's appropriate, okay? So kita mo yung kahit na kinakalat niya yung mga beans, so the mom still, come, and the mother translates it or gives it to the child, and the child gives it back to the mom. So there's a
Totoo.
sensor, they are in a globe. Kumbaga yung,
Correct.
if you remember, the water boy, Adam Sandler,
Yes po.
like he's living in a bubble.
Mhm.
Okay, but he's very scared to get out of the bubble because he's thinking it was implanted to his mind that he will get sick and it's very dangerous to go outside.
And Doc, ito po ang ganda nitong like sample na 'to na binanggit niyo kasi 'di ba very common 'to sa mga, autistic kids natin that they would have some sensory pleasure with, playing with something na hindi typical or common. And then yun nga yung madalas na nami-misinterpret ng ibang family members or adults. But if you understand sensory integration and their preferences and their needs, yun katulad nitong mother, she supports it in a safe space, in appropriate place, and then interacts, 'di ba? Kasi kumbaga Doc, typically yun nga pagagalitan na yung bata kasi making a mess, nagkakalat, ganyan. Pero this gives him pleasure and this kind of interaction, 'di ba, is very good to see. Kasi naiintindihan mo na nandun yung mom connecting with the child, and yun nga parang they're both parang sharing this interaction.
And then, hindi lang siya dapat na, okay, bibigyan kita ng sensory diet, maglalaro tayo ng beans the whole day. No. You have to incorporate this in a learning process. You are trying to support the sensory needs, but you have to have that plan or have that thinking process. Lagi yung thinking process natin is kailangan very dynamic. So, hindi nag-work. Oh, ano yung backup ko? Ano yung backup ko? So like we're pulling the tools that we have in the back of our head. Okay, let me adjust this. Okay. But what can you teach with that? You can teach, like, you can sing the rain, rain, go. Like rain, rain, go away. Like that. All right. Even the movements, the closing of the hand, the singing, the rhythm. Then you can do your the peekaboo, like, you scoop in one hand, like peekaboo. You can, maybe if the child allows you, you can throw those beans towards him, and then you do the imitation. Okay, you do the imitation. So hindi ka lang yung nakaupo ka lang tapos hayaan mo lang siya. No, when you see that the child is ready, not by words, but the gestures of the body, the movement of the body, the facial expressions, the eyes, and the breathing pattern, then there's a portal for you to join in.
Correct po. Dito nakakatuwa kasi talagang kita mo na yung nag-e-enjoy siya dun sa isa-isa nilang paglaglag and then collecting it. Tapos yung sinabi niyo nga 'no, when we try to observe talaga and kumbaga stay attuned din po dun sa ginagawa niya. And then we do not hurry this kind of process. Pero yun nga yung ano yung how can you parang and make it enriching dun sa task. Katulad ng mga sinuggest ni Doc by singing or by inserting some concepts, 'di ba? Yung mga gano'n. And seeing where
Kumbaga
it
you're
can lead.
layering. You're layering ito, affordances. Ano yung affordances is like ano yung mga traits, ano yung mga characteristic of this, what we're having right now, and then you're layering it up. Okay, kapag nag-crash, merong moment yan na magka-crash up yan. Magka-crash down pala, magka-crash down yan. Pero how will you help him, support him to scoop up? Okay, keep on going. Maybe it's you who trigger him because you talk a lot.
Puwede rin po
Right?
'no. Puwede yun,
Or maybe
opo.
your movement is too much.
Correct, correct. So kailangan talaga yung yun nga, being attuned po and then paying attention to them or kung yun nga, yung maging responsive tayo sa kanila.
Okay, like what I've said, you have to be a detective yourself. Okay, I always think of this like, okay, here we go, the subway map with different colors, different station. I have to go to this station before I can jump him to this station. Oh, he wants to go into this station. Okay, let's go. Let's shift, and then okay, let's bring this person back. So this is my way as sensory diet for me because I tend to be more, you know, like organized my thinking, my problem solving, and being a critical thinker and a working memory. So, okay, there's a history of like this, like that. Uh, meron tong medication. That's why this person is not presenting, an alert in an alert mode because na meron palang medication. Oh, bakit siya different? It's very unusual. 'Pag minsan na-observe ko, bakit tahimik? Bakit bakit kalma lang siya? This is very unusual. So I will have to ask the teacher, so is there any information like that? So okay. So I don't say like the medication, but I quote this as a vitamins. You have your Flintstone vitamins? You have your vitamins? Yan. Para sa, oh, did you take your this, jelly beans? Okay, because I don't want, so we don't want them to get stigmatized. Like, okay, I can only function if I have the medication. Okay, and the medication is there, um, because not to target the problem, but it can be a portal for you, for that person to have that pause moment and have the other people working around that person to come in. So kalmado ka. So okay, kalmado ka. So what activities I could provide you? What do you like? Okay, so the brain can experience, the spinal cord can experience it, going to the brain, process it, and respond. So go, oh, ito pala yung lasa ng, we call it ang pansit. Ito pala yung lasa ng sinigang. Ito pala yung lasa um, roasted chicken. Oh, ito pala yung lasa ng adobo. Iba pala siya sa menudo. So you let that nervous system to try something. So clinical assessment, what we relying on, so, clinical assessment and evaluation. We have to do screening and interview, observation. So napakarami, even a questionnaire, checklist. Even sometimes, in the Philippines, I used to work that. I have to go to the schools. Right, I have to go to schools. Sometimes, if I'm given an opportunity, I can go to the home of the kid. And then we do a revision, we're designing kung halimbawa nagpa-progress. Okay, always remember this, hindi laging ang progress is going up. Meron din yung plateau. Okay, meron din biglang bababa siya. Tapos biglang aangat ulit, tapos bababa. Just like us. Okay, our productivity every day. Sometimes we're so productive, we're going up, 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 up. But there are times like we don't want to do anything. So our productivity is down.
Correct.
Okay, we can, I think, I think everyone understands the, you know, the nervous system and the subway. Okay, we have that MRT, the MRT system. Okay, so this is what we're commonly use, okay, sa school, even sa bahay, no, nagpapadala kami ng mga forms, okay, we have the classy, it is a standardized test, okay, so we combine the standardized assessment, evaluation, and then we combine it with the observation, non-standardized assessment and observation, indirect and direct observation um, in different learning environment, like for example, this is school, or when we go to the community, ano yung skills. We focus on the strengths and skills. Okay, kung I will use this strength and skills, so we can target this area of development of concern, developmental concern, survival or occupational concerns. Okay, this is a sample template. Okay, this is non-standardized. Okay, it's hard to, and I cannot, you know, share with you by, you know, the copyright law here. That's why I cannot share the, you know, the standardized test. But let's say we have this in our mind, okay, the sample template. So I put the age range from 2 to 18 years old. Okay, so these are the factors, the multiple factors that we have to consider when we administer this sensory checklist template. Okay, so I add a scale of 1 to 3, and then we will be adding all the grades. And then from then, we will map, like the subway map, where is it coming from? It's important for you to consult your occupational therapist, your speech therapist, okay, the physical therapist, the teachers, the paraprofessionals, or teacher aid. This is very important. So this is not a diagnostic tool. So like this is my you notice, okay, lahat hinahawakan niya, inaamoy niya. The posture, look at the posture. Ang daming learning tools sa harapan niya. But where is he focusing? Look at his eyes. Okay, his visual attention. Why is he bringing his eyes very close to the table? Why is he supporting his chin against the board? So, ang daming details, no, na kailangan i-consider. Minsan na mismo yung one moment, yung millisecond na yon, that can affect your program. Okay, next. Okay, so this one, okay, ano makikita mo, Miss Joey?
The head keeps moving. Tapos makikita mo po na nag-a-adjust yung nagbibigay ng food sa kanya.
So, ayan na yung adulthood. Okay, adulthood. We can conclude from here na yun nga, very like low muscle tension, ang kanyang muscles, ang kanyang joints cannot be supported without moving himself. But he's trying to move a lot. He's trying. We are not corrected that because that is him. That is his nervous system. That is his sensory system adaptation. I want to eat. I want to try it. I'm still regulated, but I need the support. I needed the support, maybe the chair, the height of the table, even the size of the spoon. Yan, pinag-uusapan natin yan, right? Miss Joey, anong type of spoon? Ano ba, yung medyo malalim ba or yung medyo shallow ba? And what is the function ng, ng shoulders? Okay, ano yung pacing niya? Okay, yung chewing and then swallowing, nakakain ba niya lahat? Is he getting bothered by, yung mga mumu sa kanyang bibig or around his lips? Does he get bothered and he cries and he throws all the food? No. Okay, but we can give that at the end. Okay, you can wipe your mouth. Can you wipe your mouth? Sometimes we give a visual feedback. Like for example, mirror. Okay, the mirror. Oh, meron kang dumi dyan. Okay, but you don't steal the strengths. You don't overdo or you don't do everything for them. Okay. So, okay, makikita natin 'to sa, mga long-term care. Like even yung after ma-discharge sa hospital, okay? In the subacute care, so we have this, okay? Um, we have this situation na based on my experience and how I see it, itong mommy na 'to ay very active, okay? But because of what happened, because of medical condition that happened, the trauma like that, so now she is in the environment where she just has to rest and sit. But I cannot just sit and rest. So as a caregiver, as a parent, or as a like children or family or the providers, what can you do? How can you support this woman? Okay. Um, Kasi ang concept na sila, when I'm sitting in a wheelchair, when I have my walker, I am done with my life. I am
Parang yung napag-usapan nga namin ni Miss Eileen gabi nga 'no, na sometimes you have to understand on that perspective lalo na 'pag productive yung, patient or yung client from previous, experience nila 'no, na it will be hard for them to accept na biglang ayan na sila wheelchair bound tapos limited yung capacity to control themselves and plan out for themselves, yung gano'n po. So, kasama talaga yung counseling as part, of providing service to them.
yeah. And it was like always active, okay? The sensory system always like active, okay? And then all of a sudden get shut off and get slowed down. So when we are working with each individual, they have like different codes. They have different colors. They have different preferences. You cannot impose. Okay, you cannot impose because it will escalate the behavior. Okay? It will escalate the behavior. If like for example, yung mga rapping, if we rap yung ibang mga bata. So sometimes they don't take it because meron palang post-traumatic experience. Okay? So hindi lang siya by development, meron palang nangyari dun sa bata before. So you cannot put anything that is heavy on top of the child, like mga weighted blanket. We have to be careful with that. Or anything like in the tunnel, like we push the child to go under the tunnel, yun pala is takot pala siya sa darkness. Okay? Or meron pala impact sa kanya na I got lost because I moved from one family to another. We call it a foster care.
Mhm.
Okay? Yung pala, lagi akong nasa, may mga bata laging sakitin from the hospital, and then they heard yung mga beeping ng mga machines, no? Even yung amoy ng hospital. So, it adds on. It adds on to the profile that might cause dysfunction, or may take time to process and kick in the adaptation response. Ang dami, no? So, so for our audience, for the parents and the caregivers, this is just a template, okay? This is just a giveaway sample, okay? This is not standardized. This is not to diagnose your child, okay? It's not a standardized tool to assess, but this is just your guide that, may nakita ko. Sa sarili ko pala, sa parent, meron akong mga problems na ganito. But how did I cope up? Maybe I can share it with my child, but I cannot impose it to my child or to your partner. Okay, so we have the tactile, the vestibular. So I listed it there. I have some pictures here to give you a clue. Okay, and then the proprioception, the auditory, how, especially this, yung paghawak ng pencil is very common sa school-based. Sa school-based, they wanted you to like hold it, hindi daw tripod, no? Hindi three fingers, two fingers in the thumb. Pero may mga bata, no? Meron akong client na ganito yung hawak niya sa pencil, no? Fisted. Pero ang ganda ng handwriting. Okay?
Diba?
So, yeah, this is sometimes like what you said, acceptance. Okay? The visual and the visual system and the oral, may mga batang very picky eater or talagang hindi kumakain. Because we have to also explore, not because of they don't want it, they're very defiant. Because of their visual, oral, and gustatory, there are the systems that are jointed, multi-jointed. Okay, and then sa mga bata may problem yung delayed yung toileting, okay, because of the interoception. This is not new, okay? They did a lot of research about this, the interoception, how you feel, heartbeat, you're hungry, that cannot be interpreted into a language or signal. That's why the child, all of a sudden, nakaupo sa classroom, bigla na lang umiyak. We just ate. We just ate. We just had your juice, your water. You just have your cookie, your chicken. Yung pala ay may problem sa interoception. Yung hunger, kailan yung body signals mo internally na hindi nagma-match up sa kung ano yung pinapakita mong behavior. Like what I've said, behavior is just the output after a long process of dynamic interaction of internal and an external system. If doesn't match, it will result into a behavior. Maladaptive behavior, I would say like maladaptive, but so behavior is a communication. And we have to be a detective. So we calculate, recalculate, baka may mali. Hindi ka na-observe, okay? Baka iba yung pag-intindi doon sa instruction, which is very common. Okay, we have to review, we have to plot, and graph it. So, maintindihan lahat nung team. Okay, then we also make a graph. Okay, nung winter, ganito siya. Nung spring, ganito siya. Anong nag-change sa bahay? Anong nag-change sa dynamic? Is it hormonal too? Okay, our kid who is, usually in the spectrum, they go into like earlier period of puberty. Okay. Now, what is the impact of sensory dysfunction or disintegration? And then now that you're learning this, come to reflect about your sensory processing. Okay, so do you perform or do you engage with your occupational roles? Do you meet all the expectation and the requirements? So what do you have to change to yourself? What do you have to add? What have you learning? What are you learning now from your system and the environment that you are providing to your neurodivergent, to your loved ones, whether it's adult, elderly, like infant, a toddler, or school age children? Dami na umabot na tayo ng 9 o'clock. Past 9 o'clock. Okay, like what I've said, kailangan natin i-explore itong lahat ng factors ito. Okay, survival, until when, what is our backup plan? Okay, does it work? We also always have to have a backup plan and change ourselves based on what is presented to us. Okay,
Ay, ito na
question
po ba
and
yung question
answer.
and answer?
I give you the floor.
Yes, kung may questions po kayo kay Dr. Janet. Pero like understanding na yung mga basics po na yun, they help us understand yun nga how we manage and provide the needed sensory diet for the person. Tapos ako na-appreciate ko, Doc, yung sinabi nyo na pagiging individualized. So it takes really a lot for the parent or the family to understand and know ano yung mga preferences or ano yung effective to regulate or help the child kapag nagkakaroon sila ng meltdown. Yun yung mga bagay na kapag na-organize mo, katulad yung sinabi niyo, Dok, no, calculate, recalculate, reflect, think about all those things. Para parang bawat family or person or parent would be able to come up with a system na talagang specific to their neurodivergent learner. So far, Dok, wala akong nakikitang questions. But if you have, sa mga viewers po natin, kung may katanungan po kayo, now is your time to jot down your questions or
Okay.
comment po.
So,
Ayan.
so if
And
you
you
want
can
to see
follow.
me and you have any
Yeah.
questions, just send me a message.
Every day is
That's
OT by Dr. J. Yan, yun po yung Facebook profile nyo, no? Dr. Janet.
Yes. So you can send me a message, my concerns. If it is too like personal, okay, we're still, observing confidentiality all the time, so you can reach me out with that. You can send me your email so we can make a, just a free consultation. What we can
Correct.
offer and giving back to our community.
Correct. Sobrang na-appreciate ko si Doc Janet kasi kahit usually kapag nagfi-Facebook Live, nagko-comment siya and very active siya dun sa mga input and pag-share niya na experience. She even suggested na yung naging guest ko si Teacher Rosie sa Neurodiverse Minds na yung mga therapists for us to have a parang meeting or support group. Kasi yun nga, we experience being a therapist, but at the same time, we have kids that we're raising in the neurodiverse population. So, maganda po siyang idea talaga. Ay, wait. Ayan, may tanong si Sir Brent. Can you comment about polyvagal theory in relation to sensory dysregulation?
Say it again, polyvagal and
In relation to sensory dysregulation.
okay, polyvagal. All right. So now we have other studies about polyvagal and the sensory integration, how they are connected. So our um you know our our SI, if this is lang siya nangyayari sa spinal cord and sa brain, okay, we also have to have the vagus, the vagus system, okay, the vagus nerve, okay, the vagus nerves, which are interconnected with our gut, okay, our heart rate, our breathing, okay, our respiratory rate, uh, like even those systems that are involuntary, like, we cannot control it. It just happens, okay. So the polyvagal, the theory says, like, if you do not address or if you do not support those other, like for example the gut system or the heart system, what are the factors that contribute to that, okay, contribute to the like elevation of the heart rate, elevation of your sympathetic nervous system activation. Okay, what are the factors? Is it your health, the medical health that you have to pay attention with? Okay, is it the environment? Is it your daily routine that you're not supposed to do, but you keep on doing it? And that translates to like, it's not really like dysfunction, but it's like maladaptation. And how aware are you, like cognitively, how aware are you that these factors are happening, okay? And then kung may maririnig pa kayong mindfulness, right, the framework of mindfulness. So syempre depende pa rin yan kung ano yung age ng client mo. Oh, of course, mindfulness, 6 years old, 7 years old, okay. How will you teach that? But it's more of those who have the awareness already. Like, oh, like for example, I tend to get hyper active and difficulty to like organize myself when I have too much caffeine. Like for example, coffee, like dark chocolate, like tea with caffeine. So you're giving it in the input, you're giving it into your system, right? You're feeding your system. And what is the reaction of your system? So you tend to be like disorganized. But what is the alternative way or other options for you not to be hyper disorganized? So maybe it's the time that you are taking the caffeine, how much are the amount of caffeine that you are taking, okay? Because the vagus nerve um is directly connected with these involuntary systems, organ systems that we have, and that is very fast. This is very quick response and reaction to our brain. So like me, so na-adapt ko yung kanilang pagkakape sa New York in the morning, because I was just like looking around. All the people were like talking so fast. They're walking too fast. Okay. And then their expectation, the culture expectation. When you step in at work, nobody will mentor you, will follow you. When you see your clients, when you see your patients, they are expecting, or they are expecting that you know everything. but you can approach them. But looking just by like looking, okay, I'm like, how can I match them? How can I match them? Bilis sila mag-isip, no? Because time is very important for them. Time. So the external factor, the environment. So now I'm taking coffee. All right, coffee. Ito, sometimes espresso pa nga with extra shot. Kasi yung pacing ng time ang bilis eh. Ang bilis ng
Opo.
ano, lalo na sa, I would say, sa hospital and sa rehab, nursing rehab, and in the school system. We just say hi in the hallway. Sometimes we don't have any chance to say hi. It's just every moment. So, but then I learned like, okay, this only happens at work. So I have to calm down. I have to calm down. I have to lower down my rate, the time of my caffeine intake, and then what makes me relax? Music like classical. So when I'm doing my paperwork, there's so many bunch of information I have in my head. Like even now, Miss Joey, it took me a while to do the slides because there's like a lot of information that I want to throw to our audience and to share with you. Um,
Yeah.
so I try to
Natan
like play classical music when I'm doing it, and then
yeah.
ayun nga. So, okay, this is too much. It will end up like what I've said. What we talk about in the chat, no?
Yes.
Baka
Opo.
lumampas tayo na 9 o'clock. So,
Parang
alam,
follow-up yeah. So parang follow-up niya po kasi na question is kung what do you think if the polyvagal theory is taught in OT subjects now sa Philippines? Kasi daw, curious siya dahil sa psychology degree or students, di daw pa masyado siya na-discuss yung polyvagal theory.
I think masyado naririnig.
Sorry. Yung kaya niya po natanong yung polyvagal theory sa OT po, yung related sa sensory dysregulation. Curious po siya because Sir Bren is ano po, a SPED teacher po na may experience sa US and then nasa Davao na siya ngayon base eh. Tapos psychology masteral graduate din po siya. So parang iniisip niya po kasi sa mga um, psychology students, hindi pa masyadong nai-introduce or hindi pa masyadong familiar sa polyvagal theory. Doon siya na-curious.
Mm. Okay. So yeah, nakikita natin, no? So different perspective, different profession, different lenses. Okay, how we view the polyvagal theory and as an OT, how we view it as a speech pathologist and the psychologists. Okay, how do they do it? But still, you will still identify that connection of your emotion and cognitive, psychological, psycho-emotional, psychosocial. Okay, they join in all together. But what is needed? What is the primary need of my client right now? What is the sense of awareness, or what level of awareness are they to understand and process the psycho-emotional, the psychosocial, okay, the cognitive process. The cognitive process, it has to like intersect or bridge or glue together. Okay? Kasi napakalaki niyang information na yan. Napakalaking theory niyan. Dr. Porges, no? So I attended Dr. Porges, uh, which is one of the pioneer of this polyvagal theory. So I attended one of his like workshop here in New York in Rebecca School. Okay, Rebecca School for Autism. And then the polyvagal theory is still based on the neuroscience. Okay, it's still based on the neuroscience, and then branch it out. Okay, how is your psychological system running? How is your psycho-emotional running? And how you uh, incorporate and merge it with the daily life of this person, your daily life, and as myself. Um, So talagang kailangan 'yan meron kang, mentor to consult with, okay, for those students going to like this kind of profession. And also, you will learn it through time. Like me, okay, I'm going to my 24 years. Meron akong, I admit to myself, I humbly admit that I made, wrong, not the wrong practice, but maybe not in the right direction of thinking and planning for my clients, for my patients. And now learning this new research, the research, the mentorship, the workshop, and then me myself, I have a neurodivergent teenager. Now the reflection, professional reflection and occupational reflection as a parent, now I realize at this stage, like, oh, this is how should I view it. Like Miss Joey, right? We are therapists. We have neurodivergent children. We try to like overcorrect, right? Especially when we are outside, and we talk about it with your last webinar. And I agree with your guest speaker, right? We try to, but then like knowing this and learning this, then you are now trying to go to the next chapter where you are learning how to revise your thinking, because all of us, we all have a big impact into the lives of our clients. We are so much, they depend to us too much. And if we don't, bring this in the table, what we are learning and in our experience, and being humble to accept your weaknesses and your strengths as a provider, as a person, you can break a family. You can break a family based, yeah, it's very true. It's very true. You can break a person's life, which is very, hurtful. You can break a family. That's how delicate it is. Okay. We have to challenge ourselves every day. We don't just graduate, have this is low master degree, PhD, the doctorate degree, and so forth and so on. But what is your role? What is your calling? If you go in in a deeper standing point, what is your role? How you influence others? What is your mission? It's not just getting your paycheck, right? Getting your paycheck, getting paid, but what is your impact? What caused the family to fall apart? What is your impact? Okay, what did you do to make this family grow, supported and strong? Right? Because
Okay.
us, we are not getting, understood by everyone, and and you know that, and also to the other participants and viewers. But
Ma'am, may
we are
last question po tayo. Ano daw po yung pinagkaiba ng occupational therapy sa cognitive behavioral therapy? And how do you support it for follow-up sa bahay?
okay. Ano ang difference ng cognitive behavior therapy
Sa
and
occupational therapy.
sa occupational therapy? So cognitive behavioral, we have that in our um, profession. We have the framework, occupational therapists. We are exposed to cognitive behavioral framework, okay, behavioral framework or therapy. But we don't use it in occupational therapy as a linear or one way of intervention. We pulled out other frameworks and other research models based on the unique presentation, unique skills, unique function and occupation and skills of our client. Okay, we do not you try to compliance if the person is, or the child, or even in the psychiatric ward I used to work, is not present there yet. Okay, if that individual is showing aggressiveness, anxiety, aggression, I cannot impose compliance right away. But I try to navigate where is the portal of that person that is open, open. Trust is number one. Relationship is number one. Okay, number one. And then we try to use, the environment, the ecology, and then what is the performance, so how we adjust the activity, the task. So we break it down. Kung hindi mo kayang sagutan ang isang worksheet na merong 20 items, the occupational therapist will come with the teacher. Okay, let's do brainstorming. Let's cut it off. Sometimes ginawa ko sa isang teacher yung worksheet niya. Okay, I pay respect to you. I fold it into the smallest size of the item where the child has, and then the child responded. So you make that person have this confidence, have that self-esteem, have that a space to express, a space to get connected to you and scoop themselves. So that's the occupational therapist. Okay, so what is your preferences? What do you want to avoid? What do you want to learn? What do you want to try? Okay, so with the cognitive behavioral therapy itself, so you're using the cognition to uh, change the behavior. Okay, but I'm not saying that it's not applicable for everyone. Some it's applicable. If the insight, if the insight and readiness of that person is ready for a higher level of thinking cognitive process, then you can throw it to that client. Cognitive behavioral. So you do this. And then what is your judgment? What is your insight in this? Some My child also went through that process, cognitive behavior, and I saw like a different her in terms of aggressiveness. Okay, aggressiveness. Then when we were during the pandemic, we work into the screen, the first and then. I am not against the cognitive behavior therapy, but it will work for some people and some people no. So I have to stand for my teenager because it's not really working for us. Okay. If I talk to the provider, if we get so stiff giving this standard this box to my teenager, then it will not be productive because I'm seeing it. It's harder when you are a therapist, and then your child is in the therapy. Right? Because you can
Correct.
see. I was last time I went to a meeting. I wish I cannot see all of this. I wish I am just an ordinary parent, right? But you'll see the holes. And then we want the parents to be aware and have the chance to themselves to learn, because learning is like all through our life. So for you to be guided, meron kang guidance. So I think cognitive behavior therapy might work. Let me do a consultation. Consult. Let me go to my speech. Let me go to the teacher. Okay, let me go to my developmental behavioral pediatrician, to my neurology, to the neurologist of my child, if it really works. So yeah, that's the framework. We adjust the OT, we adjust all the factors, external factors, and then from there in, okay, when we see a portal, the internal system, then we come in.
Correct. Thank you po, Doc. Sabi ni Sir Brent, sana one time, Miss Joy, mag-organize tayo ng meeting with all your guests so far and share thoughts and plans. Parang ang ganda po ng idea yun, and same as yung idea nyo nga po for professionals or therapists with neurodivergent kids themselves. I mean like children. Yung biological children, ibig ko sabihin, di ba? Kasi it's gonna be an interesting po, parang support system and support group po. Totoo po, ang ganda po ng idea nyo and ni Sir Brent. So, with that, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you po talaga, Dr. Janet. Thank you po for sharing your time and expertise with our followers. And sa mga kasama natin or hindi nakapagsimula, pwede nyo pong balikan itong buong episode as I will upload it on my YouTube channel para ma-check back and ma-replay po ninyo. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope this is not the first and last. May mga susunod pa, Doc Janet, na collaboration. Thank you so much for your willingness
Yes.
po.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Miss Joy.
Thank you po. Enjoy your day po. God bless to everyone. Ingat po kayo. Bye!